And people wonder why cops draw their guns. This makes me sick. I've never been more disgusted. The black community should be ashamed of the number of criminals they are breeding. Where are the cries and screams from this shooting? So over the crappy excuses. Stand up and own your problems. And please, pull up your damn pants and take off your hoods. It makes you look shady. God bless the police that serve and protect us every day. May you rest in peace, Officer Wilson. Good evening, family, and welcome to this episode of I'm Just Saying. My name is Marquise James Mayo Sr. And I wanted to start off with that quote. That was a quote for those of you who don't know, and I'm pretty sure most people in the Norristown area have known by now about this story. That was a quote from a teacher in the district, Cheryl Werkheiser. And she was suspended for 2 days based on that quote and the outcry from the community for something to be done. Quite honestly, it should have been more than 2 days. She should have lost her job. How can you make a statement like that when your students are predominantly African American or of a minority race, period? And, you make that kind of statement and expect to come into work and have the respect of those students. Have them be able to listen, have them able to trust you again. And not just the students, but also your peers, your fellow teachers and educators. And I believe she should have lost her job. I know I'm not the only person that feels that way. She was suspended for 2 days. As far as I know, there hasn't been any more action. I could be wrong, and if I am, please somebody update me on that and let me know. Either put a comment at the bottom of the video. This will be on YouTube. This will also be on my website through Blogger. Leave a comment and update me on what's going on. But the topic for this video is cultural diversity and how it affects education. When somebody makes a statement like that, it tells you who they are. Because she didn't make that statement at home in the presence of family and friends behind closed doors. She put it on Facebook, on Channel 6 Action News, on their Facebook page. So she knew that a lot of people would see that post. And she did it anyway. So that lets you know how she feels. Now, the whole thing about the pull your damn pants up and take your hoods off. Let's be real. First of all, black boys or black men aren't the only men in this country that sag their pants. But she didn't say anybody else. She was speaking specifically to the black community. So that's problem number one. Number two, black men and black boys aren't the only men or boys who wear hoodies in America. Hoodies, men and women, boys and girls of all races and colors wear hoodies. But she wasn't speaking specifically to everyone. She was speaking specifically to African Americans. And like I said, let's be real. There was and still is a gang of white folk who wear hoods. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She didn't reference them to take off their hoods, because you can best believe if you see them walking down the street with their hoods on, something shady's about that. This is my view. You can't tell somebody that just because they're wearing a hood, they look shady. I wear a hood all the time. I love hoodies. I have a whole bunch of them. If you see the hood on my head, that's because it's cold, it's chilly, it breeze, keeping my head warm. It's the purpose of a hood. The purpose of a hood, when manufacturers make them, isn't, I'm going to make this so that criminals can have a better way to conceal themselves. Although some people use it for that reason, the same thing with a mask. You can wear a mask when you go skiing or snowboarding or something like that. Go paintballing. I have a mask. But when I wear my mask is when it's freezing outside. Some people use it for nefarious activities. That's their decision. But just because somebody has something or wears something doesn't make them look shady. You know what I mean? She could have got rid of all the hoodies and pulling up the pants and just went right to the heart of the matter and said black folk look shady. You know what I mean? And after that whole thing went down, over 100 students from Norristown High staged a walkout on April 7th, and from 8 o'clock to 8:20. And I would like to say that I am very, very proud of those students and those parents that participated in that walkout, because they showed something that, you know, people often say that, you know, we don't have, and that's solidarity. And it wasn't just black students that was out there. It was students of all races, all backgrounds, and that kind of unity. If those high schoolers can show that kind of unity to stand up for something that they believe in, why can't the rest of us? So my hat goes off to them for standing up for something that they felt was an injustice, and they showed that together they can at least try to make a change. You know what I mean? They didn't just get on social media and bitch about it and complain about it and, you know, say degrading things back to the teacher, or, you know, start some old race stuff between them and other students. I didn't see any of that personally. What I saw was a large group of kids who felt that something was wrong, and they protested. They used their right as an American to protest peacefully, to assemble peacefully, and they did it. And everybody should be tipping their hat and, you know, showing them love for doing what they did. And the parents that came out that showed their support, you know, that's a big thing. You know, that is a big moment in Norristown. You know, I'm only 31, but that moment to me is a huge moment in the history of Norristown for those kids to get out there and do that. And that means a lot. It really does. It shows that not everybody is a thug or a criminal, you know, or not everybody is not showing that, you know, you got a bunch of kids out there that just don't care and, you know, really don't pay attention to what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? It showed that there's kids out there, the next generation, that can see and recognize what's going on. And they want to make a change because what they see is not right. You know, they see injustice. They see such bad things happening. You know, you have police brutality issues. You have, you know, politicians, you know, going around saying extremely, extremely racist things about our president and his wife, our first lady, and his family as a whole. And those kids, you know, they are the next generation. A lot of people, you know, talk about they're worried about the next generation. They don't care and stuff like that. But when you see something like that, that shows you that they do care and they do recognize what's going on. And they know that, you know, they're going to have to fight and they're going to have to push and they're going to have to scratch and claw. And hopefully, you know, they'll be able to overcome the obstacles that have been put in their way through injustice and things of that nature. So, you know, this is going to be a two-parter for the cultural diversity, but I just wanted to make this video to give my thanks and to salute those brave students who went out and did that walkout on the 7th of April. You guys deserve a standing ovation from everybody here in town. You are without a doubt heroes. So you guys stay tuned for part 2 of the cultural diversity topic for the education series. I'll be right back.